We're getting close to yet another entry in the Call of Duty franchise, this time the conclusion of a new Modern Warfare trilogy. Modern Warfare 3 should wrap up the story from last year's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, but this is a story that started all the way back in 2019 with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, a remake of 2007's Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, not to be confused with 2017's Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I think I need to see a doctor after reading that sentence. But I'll be honest, I am by no means a Call of Duty expert, but I'm contractually obliged to read this script that thankfully was written by a Call of Duty expert. So how about you and me see how far we can get through this madness before the sheer confusion makes us forget what a video game even is. So, what can we expect from the story of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? So far, the new Modern Warfare games have taken heavy inspiration from the characters and story beats of the original games, but have also tread their own path. Modern Warfare introduced us to the fictional region of Verdansk and a CIA operative known only as Alex as they raided a facility with a team of US Marines looking for a chemical weapon. This goes about as well as any American military operation, and the chemical gas is snagged by insurgents that kill everyone but Alex, who reaches out to his CIA handler Laswell, who calls on her resident SAS bestie and winner of the Best Video Game Moustache 2019, Captain John Price. We jump 24 hours forward to play as SAS Sergeant Kyle Garrick, who has information on a terrorist attack planned in London by the terrorist organisation Al-Qatala. Bad news, this attack happens instantly, with bombs exploding and panic on the streets of London as you have to fight through the streets. Alex is sent to the fictional region of Urzikstan to meet one of Price's contacts, Farah Karim, the leader of a band of insurgents alongside her older brother Hadir. They decide to help one another, so Alex joins the fight against a Russian general, Roman Barkov, and the Russian occupiers of Urzikstan, and heroics ensue. At the same time, Price and Garrick raid a house in London to find the name of Al-Qatala's leader, a figure known by the impressive nickname of the Wolf.
May I come in?
Or Omar Sullivan, if you're his mum and he's in trouble. Alex, Farah and the happy band of insurgents then go on a mission to capture the Wolf, which they do, but then his right-hand man, the Butcher, who turns out is not an actual qualified butcher, breaks him out of the US Embassy. Alex, Farah and Hadir ambush an Al-Qatala convoy when it's revealed that Hadir was part of the guys that stole the chemical gas. Unfortunately, this is revealed by Hadir triggering the gas, which kills the insurgents, the Al-Qatala forces and just about everyone there, except for Alex, Hadir and Farah. We then get a flashback 20 years into the past where we play as a young Farah experiencing the death of her father via a pretty horrific boss fight in which you have to stab a man in the neck with a screwdriver, but to be fair, that's just another Tuesday in the Call of Duty world, isn't it? Ultimately, Farah is captured by Barkov only to be broken out by Price, here a lieutenant who we can only assume hasn't hit puberty yet due to the lack of moustache. The Wolf gets bumped off in a mission where Alex and Farah are trying to hunt down Hadir, and he claims Al-Qatala are their allies, and then we're off to Russia to try and pick up Hadir, who's believed to be planning another attack there. After a brief bit of torture from Captain Price, the Butcher, again I have to stress, not a qualified butcher, reveals Hadir is heading for Barkov's estate in Moldova. Garrick and Price go to the estate, capture Hadir and spare his life in exchange for the location of Barkov's chemical gas facility. Alex, Garrick, Farah and Price head there for a final showdown. An explosives mishap means that Alex has to sacrifice himself to detonate the explosives manually and destroy the facility. Farah uses the distraction to stab Barkov to death on his private helicopter before the three remaining characters escape and the credits roll on Modern Warfare. Except not quite, because it's revealed that Garrick is actually fan favourite original trilogy character Gaz, and that Price is building the original trilogy's Task Force 141 and will be bringing in much stand characters like Soap McTavish and Simon Ghost Riley. I tell you, I love that Call of Duty character names are basically the most boring name you can think of with a random word inserted in the middle, like John the Badger Smith or something. The story continues in Modern Warfare Spec Ops mode though. It reveals that Al-Qatala has a new leader in the shape of Khaled Al-Assad, a villain from Call of Duty 4, and Viktor Zakhaev, the son of Imran Zakhaev, who was the other big bad in that original game. So, just to get this straight, at the end of 2019's Modern Warfare, we're roughly where the game starts in the original 2007 title, but with a slightly different cast of characters. Okay. Cool, wait, is the ambulance on standby? Yeah, just my head's getting kind of fuzzy again. Warzone, a battle royale game that's basically Fortnite for people with a mortgage, has a bunch of story content somehow. The gang all show up here in Verdansk with Ghost appearing for the first time, Alex coming back from the dead with a prosthetic leg, and the introduction of the mercenary outfit Shadow Company before Price bumps off Viktor Zakayev and cancels the launch of a big bugger of a missile. 3 years later, in 2022's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, 3 years have also passed for our favourite special ops team. Garrick and Price assassinate the Russian-backed Iranian general Gorbrani during an arms deal in the fictional Al-Mazrah. Gorbrani's lieutenant, Hassan Zayani, doesn't like that much and starts looking for revenge on the United States, so Garrick and Price go to capture him and fail, but they do find a stolen US missile instead, so, you win some, you lose some. It turns out new management hasn't helped Al-Qatala because now they've stolen a bunch of these missiles, and so the team, led by Stillwell, along with another fan favourite character, General Shepard, who I keep accidentally calling German Shepard, pitching in too because of the severity of the situation. Garrick goes to Amsterdam on a stag do, only joking, it's actually to try and track down one of Zayani's couriers, and succeeds only in swimming round the canal and finding out that Zayani has allied with a drug cartel in Mexico for protection called Las Almas. So Garrick and Price go there, where they meet Mexican Special Forces agent Colonel Alejandro Vargas, who joins the team. Vargas has his very own unit of Special Forces lads, Los Vaqueros, and everyone, including Ghost, Soap, and even the returning Shadow Company, recruited by General Shepard, team up to add some manpower to the off-the-books missile search and go and capture Zayani. Then they're reminded that you need actual evidence to capture someone, so when they do get Zayani, they then have to let him go. Great work all round. Laswell is captured by Al-Qatala, so Garrick, Price and Nikolai go and rescue her with a little help from Farah, who is now leading an uprising somewhere else, apparently. At the same time, Soap and Alejandro discover Las Almas has Russian-made GPS devices for missiles, and so go to capture Las Almas' elusive leader El Sin Nombre, who turns out to be, surprise, Alejandro's former Spec Ops colleague Valeria Garza. Garza reveals that one of the missiles is on an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico, so everyone goes to take that back, including Shadow Company CEO Philip Graves, a man so American and so patriotic he looks like his diet consists solely of Tom Clancy novels. The man's Jackie Collins, as I like to call them. And, like a twist from a Tom Clancy novel, it turns out that Graves is actually a baddie, and Shepard and Graves were trying to cover up a botched missile transport in the Middle East that was captured by the Russian PMC's the Kony Group. 3 missiles were stolen, and as Shadow Company were responsible, they were trying to avoid getting in trouble, or as we in Scotland say, trying to avoid a scalp tarse. Graves captures Alejandro and seizes his base of operations before trying to hunt down the members of Task Force 141 on the streets. This is unsuccessful, and Laswell, Price, Garrick, Ghost and Soap manage to free Alejandro while causing a huge jailbreak that also frees all the captured Los Vaqueros members. The gang being all here, they then take back Alejandro's base, kill Graves and learn from Valeria that Zayani is now in Chicago with a planned attack occurring soon. This plan, which involved firing a missile at the Pentagon, nearly comes off, but Zayani clearly doesn't realise that Price has literally stopped a rogue missile once a week for the last 20 years. So Task 141 assault the skyscraper Zayani and his men are holed up in, and they detonate the missile mid-air as it flies towards its target. Now that German General Shepard is in hiding, Task 141 head to a bar to celebrate a job well done. Ghost is still wearing his skull mask, so I presume they just got him a straw or something. And it turns out it was Russian ultra-nationalists behind the stolen missile shipment. Those ultra-nationalists are being led by a man named Vladimir Makarov, which I'm told will make fans of the original trilogy gasp because he's a right wrongin'. So that's Modern Warfare 2, except for a mid-credit sequence that shows a Russian terrorist cell about to hijack a commercial airliner. A text message comes through telling them no Russian, a reference to the 2009 mission from the original Modern Warfare 2 that was potentially the most controversial mission in all of gaming history. And there we go, we're done. Except for the game's bonus content, that is, special ops missions hint that Laswell is operating in Al-Mazrah to try and take down Al-Qatala operations. Garrick, Price and Farah are sent to investigate the disappearance of Alex from the first game, who was sent by Farah to infiltrate a Soviet-era bunker in Urzikstan. The bunker houses a Soviet-made thermonuclear missile, and while those missiles are stolen, Alex is still alive. He reports that Farah's brother Hadir was acting as the Alcatel commander and left Alex alive to give Farah a message: join him or leave him alone. Typical sibling behaviour. That doesn't pan out for Hadir. Garrick goes back to the surface to relay the information to Laswell, and Alex joins Farah and Price to chase him deeper into the bunker, where the man himself shows up and captures the trio and chucks them into jail cells. They escape and catch up with Hadir, who's trying to escape from the bunker via an elevator, not the best escape method, which the trio then sabotage, bringing the elevator down and mortally wounding Hadir, who begs his sister to use the warhead and that Urzikstan is in danger from the real Russians before dying. Farah and Alex then dispose of the warhead. In Warzone 2.0, several private military companies descend on Al Mazrah to try and take control of the city from Al Mazrah forces and then eventually each other. At some point, Valeria breaks out of captivity and reforms the Las Almas cartel to also start operations in Al Mazrah because, you know, Mexican drug cartels love geopolitical proxy wars now. Then Alejandro is recruited by Laswell to recapture her. Later that year, the city of Vondel in the Netherlands is hit by a terrorist attack, and while civilians are escaping the city, a private military company called the Peacekeepers rolls in and seizes control of Vondel. Laswell sets up an alliance with another private military company called Black Moors to investigate the Peacekeepers and to try and get them out of Vondel, and it's revealed that the Peacekeepers are actually just disguised members of the Coney group and that they orchestrated the attack on Vondel. Then, to cap off what must have been a wild year for Task Force 141 and their special group of super friends, Graves shows up. Turns out he faked his own death somehow when you blew up his tank with C4, because I guess people can come back from the dead in Call of Duty just about as easily as they do in Marvel Comics. Graves proposes an alliance with Farah's insurgency group, the ULF, so that Shadow Company and the ULF can work together to defend Al Mazrah from the invading Coney group. Graves, working with Shepard, attacks the Coney group occupied Zaya Observatory in Al Mazrah and finds an underground weapons facility full of chemical weapons. They start to load these gas canisters into planes when it turns out, surprise again, Coney group soldiers pretending to be Shadow Company soldiers hijack the planes carrying the gas shipment, meaning the weapons are back where they started in Coney group hands. Whew. And that's where we're at right now. If you're feeling lightheaded, please do contact a medical professional and quote the phrase, "I tried to understand the plot of Call of Duty and I'm told that they'll deal with you right away." We've only been given a glimpse at the Modern Warfare 3 story, mainly in a campaign premiere from Modern Warfare 3 published back in August. This didn't give any hints at what could be out there, but it seems likely we'll see a collision of the remaining pieces left on the board. Makarov's ultranationalists will probably play a huge part of the story, but we wouldn't be surprised to see Graves, Zakayev showing up in some form to stir the pot too. Oh, and General Shepard too. No, sorry, German Shepard. No, I had it right that time. Gah! Whew, okay, there we go. Thank you very much for joining me trying to understand the absolute mania that is the plot of the recent Call of Duty games. Please do check out some of the other great stuff we've got on the FGS channel. Consider subscribing, hit the like button, ring the bell, do all that jazz because it all really helps us. And yeah, see you again very soon. Bye!